Kolkata, a city unlike any other.
It's hot, it's humid, it's dirty, it's crowded, but there is also a charm of Calcutta.
Lots to do, lots to see. It's absolutely full of life, so there's something happening every time of day and night.
Roughly the size of Dublin, it is home to over 14 million people. Around a quarter of the population live in the worst kind of poverty. The majority of these are children. For generations, these families call Kolkata's busy streets their home, living in the most appalling conditions one could ever imagine. Almost 2 million children die each year in India before they reach their 5th birthday. Those who survive are forced to work over 12 hours a day, begging for money or rummaging in rubbish dumps for anything they can sell. At night, their tiny bodies line the city's busy streets with barely even a blanket to protect them. Every night, they face the very real risk of being abused, trafficked, or forced into prostitution. It's a truly miserable existence for these vulnerable children, many of whom are abandoned, alone, with no one to love or protect them. A large proportion of Kolkata's population live in the city's overcrowded, dirty and rat-infested slums. Families live side by side in tiny shelters, separated by open sewers and discarded rubbish, using dirty canal water for cooking, washing and even drinking.
Of these 5,000 slums, maybe 3,500 are unregistered. That means the government has no responsibility in supplying sanitation, clean water, garbage collection. A lot of them have been there for years, generations have lived in them.
One of the ways in which people scratch a living is by rag picking and rummaging in the city's dump sites. Mothers and children spend entire days picking through mountains of waste, searching for anything which they can use or recycle.
There's no scientific way of separating the different kind of rubbish and getting rid of it. So they bring the rubbish from different part of the city and dump it out there. And within few years, it takes almost shape of a mountain. The local people from the nearby slums, they come and do scavenging to search for anything which they can recycle and sell.
Often without shoes, the children spend hours on their hands and knees, sifting through the foul-smelling rubbish, competing with dogs and pigs for scraps. Disease is rampant. These people are not living, they are merely existing. However, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. The Hope Foundation was set up in 1999 by Cork native Maureen Forrest. Maureen travelled to Calcutta in the early 90s and was appalled by the poverty that she witnessed. Determined to make a difference, Maureen decided to set up one protection home to care for 25 street children. 15 years later, the Hope Foundation is going strong. The Hope Foundation believes in a world where it should never hurt to be a child. And since 1999, Hope has worked with thousands of vulnerable street children to overcome poverty through its many projects and programs, giving them back their childhood and offering the chance of a better, safer future. One of the ways in which Hope is doing this is through education. The Hope Foundation believes that education is the pathway out of poverty, and during its 15 years has given thousands of children the opportunity to attend school and receive the education that they deserve. Hope creches are quite unique to Kolkata and offer children the chance to learn, play and embrace their childhood.
Where children from 3 until school-going age, which can be 5 or 6, come in the mornings and are just taught the basic rudiments like alphabet. But alphabet possibly involves English, Bengali and Hindi alphabets. They do nursery rhymes, they do art, they play together and they just get along with each other. A lot of it is to create the habit among a street population of actually coming to school.
Many of the children here are first-generation learners and will be the first in their families to attend school, having previously been destined to a life of begging or rag-picking on the streets of Kolkata. Their journey of hope has just begun. Day-to-day survival is the prime concern in Kolkata. Many families rely on their children to provide an income by working or begging on the streets. This means long-term goals like education and planning for their future is simply not considered a priority. As a result, the school dropout rate is incredibly high. To counteract this, Hope have set up the Nabadisha centres, providing nutritious meals, healthcare and counselling. Staff here support the children already in education, helping them with their studies and encouraging them to stay in school. They also prepare other children for the process of successfully entering mainstream education.
We are in the Naliganj Navodisha. We have 66 children here, and most of them are going to the school. 48 children are going to the school, others not going to the school, but we are preparing them that they will go next year.
Hope also work alongside government schools, providing extra coaching sessions to the street children within this environment. The aim here is to integrate, assist and support the most vulnerable children, helping them to reach their full potential. Due to the lack of proper nutrition and access to healthcare, disease and infection are widespread amongst street children. To tackle this issue, the Hope Foundation run their own hospital, equipped with 36 beds, providing healthcare to the city's most vulnerable children and adults.
This hospital is for the street and the slum people of Kolkata who cannot afford the cost of the private hospital or who does not have an access to the state hospital, because there is a huge scarcity of the bed in our state hospital. If you want to get a bed in our state hospital, you have to wait for months and months. In this hospital, there is all kind of patients, generally malnutrition, respiratory distress, urinary tract infection, fracture, gynecological problems. We have a fully functional operation theatre where we are doing all kind of surgeries. We have an outpatient department in the ground floor, and that clinic is open for all. Anybody from the local community can come.
Every year, thousands of patients are treated in Hope Hospital, and it is often the first port of call for many of the children rescued from the streets at night from appalling and traumatising situations. Kolkata at night can be a very scary place, especially for the children who call the streets their home. The Hope Foundation runs a dedicated emergency response unit, responding to anyone in need of physical and psychological support. The unit operates 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year, and involves the rescue of abandoned or trafficked children and women and those suffering from a mental illness.
Night Down means our unique project of Hope Kolkata Foundation. We look for vulnerable children in and around Calcutta. We cover whole Calcutta. Generally, we reach the spot and talk to the volunteer groups we have already formed regarding the situation of the area. If any problem with the children, if any problem with the aged person, community protection volunteer group. Not only protect the children, but also protect the whole community. Anything happen, they inform us and immediately we reach the spot.
Those rescued by the response unit are sent to Hope Hospital for treatment or placed in rehabilitation centres, and in some cases to Hope's residential homes. Hope oversees 9 residential homes for girls and boys of all ages. Away from the harsh realities of life on the streets, these protection homes offer the children the chance to lead a normal childhood in a loving and safe environment. Each of the children attend school and take part in activities like sport, dance, arts and crafts, giving them the opportunity to truly blossom away from the harsh conditions they once faced.
My hobby is violin. I like to join, watch TV.
I like to dance. My favorite subject is English.
My favorite subject is geography and Bengali.
I love to dance. My favorite subject is economics.
I have many friends in here and I love in here.
And we are very happy to live in this home. We hope more volunteers to come and spend few time with us, okay? Bye.
Hope also runs a rehabilitation home, specifically to support boys previously addicted to solvents, helping them to live a normal, drug-free life. Solvent addiction is a major problem for street children in Kolkata, with many using solvents as a way to cope with the trauma and abuse they've suffered living on the streets. It is amazing to witness their transformation into happy, bright young men equipped with the skills to take charge of their future, a million miles away from their previous life. According to the UN, India is the most dangerous place in the world to be born a girl. Forced into child labour and often married by the age of 13, young girls spend their entire lives working without ever being offered the chance of an education. With this in mind, the Hope Foundation opened its very own vocational training centre, Life Skills, giving young women the opportunity to learn useful skills. Skills they could utilise to provide for themselves and their families. Classes here include tailoring, hairdressing, cooking, computer skills and conversational English.
70% of households in slums are headed by women, but the literacy level among those is only 28%. So basically what you're trying to do is educate these women and empower women, give them confidence in themselves and their abilities.
Hope is very friendly because our teachers are very good. They understand us and they make us understand each and everything very well. They give us time. We learn different type of stitches and the salwar kameez that we wear in India, then shirt and pants and all. It is very important because we don't have to pay the full monthly fees, so we get to learn a lot with minimum money.
They're learning spoken English also. It's a complete package, and the women are completed the course and now they are working in the export house industries, so they are very happy and they are supporting their family.
Downstairs, Hope also run the Life Skills Cafe, a popular eatery in Kolkata, which provides employment and training in the hospitality industry. The majority of these women have never received any form of training, and the skills they learn through Life Skills give them the opportunity to find sustainable employment and the ability to provide for their future.
Most of them who normally drop out of school and haven't got any other hope or anything else that they can do, so they come here and actually make a good job of it. They love it, they blossom, and after 6 months I place them.
You can make a difference by getting involved with the Hope Foundation, helping us to end the vicious cycle of poverty for so many vulnerable children in Kolkata. Will you join us and give hope to an innocent child who desperately needs your help? For more information, please visit our website at www.hopefoundation.ie or follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.